Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Who remembers this space right here when it was boarded up? All them years. I am so glad that we decided to get this place right here as a space where we can all get together and be about community. So let's give our city a whole round of applause for being here. My name is George Chip Greenidge. I'm the director and founder of Greatest Minds, and it's such a pleasure to be here. And I'm gonna say one thing, is that growing up in Boston, you're able to have access by the amount of colleges and universities around us. We are very differently structured by this city, by having the wealth of colleges and universities. When I grew up, I was able to go to Harvard, BU, MIT in my high school years as summer programs. These are very important. And also I've had the best role models. Lenny Guinier, who just passed, Charles Ogletree, who just passed, my good friend Juanita Wade, who used to be here on the school committee, but also a head of human services. These people were my major role models. And so for me, in order to play it forward, is that I had to continue to develop back and develop something that gave other people our young people outstanding opportunities. And that's why Greatest Minds is about. And I want y'all to be clear, it's not Greatest Mind, it's Greatest Minds, okay? Our job at Greatest Minds is to teach young people to work together. Let me say that again, work together. And you guys know, during the pandemic, a lot of young people learned very different skills. And so the major challenge for us when we're getting back from the pandemic was getting them to talk to each other, to work in teams. One thing that Lonnie Guinier always said to me, she talked about a guy by the name of Scott Page who wrote a book called The Difference. And he talked about how people would not be working in teams. And so she posed something with Scott Page, and I'm gonna share this with you, about how people learn and how people approach things. She said, if you're applying for a job, right? Usually we take the top 2 applicants or 3 applicants for a job and so forth, or for a team. But she said, I want you to look at it differently. Just say there was Jill, John, and Joe applying for a job, and your job is to pick the top 2 people. And just say Joe got 4 points, 6 out of 10 points, John got 6 out of 10 points, and Jill got 4 out of 10 points. The usual American way was to take the 2 top people and for them to be the part of the team. But she and Scott Page pushed the concept, if Jill got all the questions right that John and Joe didn't, why don't you pick Jill and John? Because that's the way that you're gonna be able to actually push forward and really build a team. And so that's what Greatest Minds is about. It's making our young people look at each other as resources and networks. Another thing is that many of us, when we were growing up, how many people were here, parents would put you on the tee at 10, 11 years old? That is a whole different story now. You got parents picking up kids that are 17, 18, 19 years old, they ain't having it. But our job is also to teach our young people to be able to take risks. So part of our work is that we partner with Harvard University, which I'm a fellow, Boston University, and MIT. In the summertime, we would do classes over there. So our job was to get them from Dudley Square to Harvard Square. And I gave them 2 ways and 3 ways to do it. Many of them, as I found out, have never been on the other side of the red line. So we challenged them, and we also pushed our parents, some of them are helicopter parents, but many were very cool with it, is that we made them get on the 66 bus by themselves, the number 1 bus by themselves, and the red line by themselves. And they told us some of the things they've ever seen was, 1, they didn't realize the socioeconomic class of sitting and watching on the number 1 and the 66, who came on the bus, who came off the bus. Also, they were able, and part of that, by going to these universities, they were able to meet professors and community people and alumni that looked just like them to say, if I can do it, you can do it too. This is a picture of us at MIT, a part of a community-a-thon with Carolyn Crockett, Dr. Carolyn Crockett. and where the students were participating, trying to learn about many different ways how to make our education system work. And so our job is to put our young people in very different spaces. This last thing I'm gonna say, this summer, we were able to bring our kids, 44 of them, camping in New Hampshire. Okay, 3 of the girls didn't go, 1 of the guys didn't go. They said there were gonna be bugs there, so they said they weren't gonna go. But on the other part, 40 of them did go, and they couldn't believe what beauty is out there without just playing basketball every day, without there just sitting around and just mulling. They were able to go jump in the lake, learn about each other, and see themselves in a different opportunity. And that's what Greatest Minds is about. It's bringing people together and learning about themselves so they can be stronger community and civic leaders. And another thing, we're a Black-led organization, is that I am bounded by lots of young people who've been through this program that are now Grace Pioneer, Darnell Singleton Food for the Soul. Lots of these entrepreneurs are people that were in our program many years ago. So they come back, and when we bring them over there, they go, "You own this? Wow, if you can do it, I can do it too." So I want to thank you. And Lisa, applause. And my last comment, because Will's like that, all right? So my last comment is, Lisa, you brought me back to scatter plots. You brought me back to grad school and statistics, and it's, oh my God. And all those are very important, as you guys know, as we look at the funding way, as we push ourselves for federal grants and all these other grants and so forth. So thank Lisa and the team for putting those information together. These are very important data points. However, I got something for you guys to do just in case. My good friend Robert Lewis told me this. He said, "You know what, Chip? If 90% of the kids are smiling at your program, you've done the work." So take that on piece. Hold on to that. Look at those smiles in those programs. As you guys know, we're always going to have a hater or two. But you know what? They are sitting there learning, all right? They don't know. All the stuff that you're teaching them is going to go on their utility belt, like Batman and Batgirl and all that. All that stuff you think they're not learning, they're using it as a part of the utility belt as they go forward. So I want to thank everybody for coming today. I want to thank Boston After School and Beyond, the staff, Chris, all you guys, for also, when we decided to start back up again because we took some time off, you guys have always been there. You know, any kind of help that we need to think it through. And Abinor, where is he at? All right, give it up for Abinor over there. If he don't call you and text you so many times and do your site visit, you ain't doing your job, but give it up for him. But I thank you guys, and you know what? It takes a village, and guess what? Boston After School and Beyond is our village. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chip.